Hi, Dr. Todd Sullivan from Nova Chiropractic and Acupuncture. If you suffer from low back pain, these are the top 3 stretches I recommend. The first stretch I recommend for lower back pain is called a cat camel. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in a hands and knees position. Our hips are going to be right underneath our knees, and our shoulders are going to be right underneath our wrist. And so what we're going to do is we're going to arch our low back. So I want Renee to arch her low back and go up just like a cat, and then drop the head forward. Good. And then go up again, and as she arches her back, she's going to drop her head forward, and then just go the opposite way. So when she drops down, we want to have a nice curve in her low back, and then she's going to look straight ahead. And what that's doing is it's helping to stretch and mobilize the joints in your low back, and then helping to stretch these muscles out. And what you want to do, you want to go back and forth about 10 to 15 times, and just again concentrate on where you're tight. If you're tighter up between your shoulder blades, that'll work there. If you're tight in your low back, that helps to stretch out the low back. But that's a great exercise called the cat camel, and I recommend that if you're dealing with any kind of tension, pain in the lower back. The second stretch I recommend if you're dealing with any back pain is for stretching the glutes and the hip muscles out. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out her right side. We're going to bring this knee up, and I'm going to bring her knee towards the opposite shoulder. So we're going to basically flex that knee up, and what Renee's going to do, she's going to grab around her thighs or her knee and just gently traction up until you feel a good stretch in your glute area. This will also work the muscles into the low back, so this is often a good stretch to do if you're dealing with any lower back pain. And you want to hold that for 30 seconds and then relax. And let's do it on the other side here. So we're going to bring this leg up, and then again, she's going to pull on her thigh and bring it up towards the opposite shoulder. And again, you're going to feel it kind of into the glute, but this will work all the way up into the low back. So that's a great stretch if you're dealing with back pain. And again, only go through the range of motion that your body can tolerate. Say, for example, if you have any hip discomfort, just take it to the point where you feel a good stretch, but don't push into any kind of painful position as well. And again, you want to hold that for 30 seconds and do it twice on each side. Third stretch I recommend for you to do if you're dealing with any lower back pain is a seated hip stretch. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the edge of the chair so your sit bones are right on the edge. And then what I want you to do, I want you to cross your right leg over your left. So Renee's going to cross her right leg over her left. Now the key to this stretch is to have really good posture and just sit up nice and tall. Okay, so now that she has really good posture, you may already start to feel a stretch in your hip, but what we want to do to increase the stretch is we want to keep our chest tall, back straight. We're going to kind of hinge from our hips and go forward until we feel a good stretch in that glute on that side there. So she should be feeling this in her glute, hamstring, and into the low back. And so depending on where you're tight, you may feel it more in one area versus the other. But this is a great stretch if you're traveling or you're at work and you're dealing with any back pain. I would hold that position for 30 seconds and then do the other side for 30 seconds. And then repeat this twice on both sides. And again, just take a point to where you feel a good stretch and then hold it. The common mistakes I see when patients are doing this is they start to round their back. And when you round your back, you lose the stretch. So go ahead, Renee, round your back for me as we're doing that. And then she loses that tension versus sit up nice and tall, back straight. And then that's what will give us the good stretch for the glute and hip region there. So the third stretch I recommend if you're dealing with any back pain is a seated hip stretch.